What's up, guys? Welcome back to the game room. First up, went to a Goodwill near where my central office is, where I work. And when I went over there, I had to get some paperwork over there. And I said, well, I'm going to go by the Goodwill over there and see what they have. They usually have really good prices and everything, and I haven't been over there in a while, so I was happy to go check it out. First up was a really cool find. It is the Big Bang Theory Monopoly. I'm a big fan. I love the show. Don't get me wrong with that. I love the show, but I have so many copies of Monopoly, their variants. I think I'm just going to end up selling this one, but this is sealed, at least mostly. There's a little tear there, and but aside from that, it's pretty cool, good shape. Now it says $5.25 on there, but we're going to get into how much I paid for the whole thing, because I think the guy kind of messed up. But there's the pieces there, like some Leonard's glasses, Sheldon Spot, Howard space helmet. So that's really cool, some of the pieces there. But as you can see on the price, this was a $40 board game. I think some of them are selling around $32, $33 mark at Walmart. So I'm going to try to post this on eBay for $30, and if I get $25 or something for it, it's sold. It's gone. And then the next thing here, I just got this Blu-ray movie just because, well, it was a good movie, but also I just got it mainly for the 2 for $5 deal. I hate just paying $3.25 for one game. So anyway, yeah, this was the movie Extremely Loud, Incredibly Close. So this little boy, 11-year-old boy, finds a key from his deceased father, who died in September 11th, and he wants to find out what it opens, essentially. And it's a really good movie. Has Sandra Bullock in there as well, and Tom Hanks was the father. So it's a pretty cool movie. Got some good actors in there. So happy to add that to the collection. There you go. All right, next up we have, cool PS2 game. Got Time Crisis Zone. All right, so this is a Time Crisis game. These are really fun guns to use with a GunCon 2 for the PlayStation 2, and you just use the gun as a controller and shoot, and get your way through the missions. You can change your weapons, and it's a whole lot of fun. Acting is usually not, the voice acting is usually not the best in these games, but they're insanely fun. You can shoot through shelves of books, glass, and even clothing racks. Utilize awesome arsenal like this submachine gun, shotgun, grenades, missile launcher, blah 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 blah. Use 2 gun cons. Very cool. It's a little scratchy, the disc, and no manual, but for the price paid, worth it. Then this, if I'm not mistaken, is the launch. This is a demo CD of the launch of the PlayStation 2 console. 10/26/2000 on the front, it says. It also says the price there, $225, but we're going to see what I actually paid in a second. That's why the numbers aren't appearing at the bottom of your screen. But yeah, it has 2 discs here. It's pretty cool with the Japanese there. Has a demo disc on here, and has a little booklet opens here that I just found out just a few minutes ago, showing off some of the games. They were still releasing PlayStation 1 games out here, like Spyro Year of the Dragon, and some of these later released PlayStation 1 games. But they were also, on the back, you can see that it has, I think this is the Ridge Racer girl, I think. But it also has Tekken Tag Tournament, Fantavision, Gran Turismo 3, Metal Gear Solid 2 showing on there, so no doubt those are on this. And then, cool game, I already have this one. I was going to sell it, but I think I'm going to end up giving it to a buddy of mine because he's really into this as well. He was in one of my videos before, Eddie. Anyway, but yeah, it's got stickers all over it, but yeah, a copy of Final Fantasy Anthology. This has Final Fantasy V and Final Fantasy VI on there. So that is really cool. Has like the remastered cutscenes and everything on there. Of course, these were a couple of the games that we did not get in the West. Oh yeah, and it has a copy of Katamari Damacy in here. If I can show that off. About a $10 disc, so that's not bad. And yeah, we have disc 1, no manual, and then disc 2. Well, Final Fantasy V and Final Fantasy VI. So that is really cool. You know what? I just noticed something. This actually has Final Fantasy Origins on it. Final Fantasy 1 and 2. Well, that changes things a little bit. Anyway, yeah, so now I don't know quite what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to tell my buddy about it, and yeah, we'll see. Anyway, so that's a cool find. I'll need to get the case for Final Fantasy Origins now. Alright, so cool. For all that, I paid the low price of $8. This should have cost me $15, $20. But, yeah. I think he's kind of made a mistake, or either that or he's really generous. I don't know, but thank you so much. That is awesome. So, I'm very happy to get all those. Yeah, next up. Later that afternoon, that evening, I was heading back up to, excuse me, here I am. Later that afternoon, I was going up to see my girlfriend in Northern Virginia, and I stopped off at the Goodwill on the way, and this was sitting there. This is the outer box for Beachbody Chowleen Extreme. So you can see there, it's got, oh, let's stretch. There it is, $8.25 for this. I took some of the stuff out. It's got stuff still sealed, like the calipers for measuring your fat, and has one of those band things that you can do some workouts with. Has the 2 books that go with it, Fat Burning Food Guide and a Muscle Burn Fat Guidebook. Alright, and then has the DVDs, but here's where I encountered an issue. It has all the first 7 discs, but the last one is missing. So I don't know quite what happened to that, but all the other discs are in great shape, ready to be played. Okay, then the next thing. Alright, so I found these yesterday, which is really cool. I've been on the lookout for these games for some time, at least, especially the second one. First one is Vagrant Story. These I got at 2nd and Charles. I did not pay $14.95 for it. I paid $11.96. This is a fairly dark RPG from Square, one of their later released RPGs on the PlayStation 1 system. Alright, there's the game, the disc and everything, and the manual is in there. And then you got, what's cool here is it has the 2000 Collector's CD Volume 3 in here, so it has Legend of Mana, Threads of Fate, Chrono Cross, Front Mission 3, Saga Frontier 2, Chocobo Dungeon 2, and Chocobo Racing. So interactive stuff and preview movies for those on there, which is awesome. But they really pushed the graphics on the PlayStation 1 with this one, and pushed the battle system. There was like this kind of field that comes out from your person that you're controlling, your hero, and that's the range of his attacks, and it looks really cool, really interesting, and I heard pretty decent reviews of it. Definitely a lot darker tone than the Final Fantasy series, but can't wait to check this one out. That is awesome. And then this game has been on my want list forever. It is a Super Nintendo game. This would have made the Power Play, but I got something maybe even a little better. But this is, oh, I'm so happy to get this game. That is Secret of Mana. Secret of Mana is, instead of a turn-based role-playing game, it was an action role-playing game. So you just charge in and you hit with your sword. You have this kind of circle wheel that comes out, and you can use magic attacks or use items or whatever you need to. Coolest part about this game, though, is that you can play multiplayer with it. you can actually get a multi-tap and get up to 3 people to play this, which is phenomenal. You can play it single player and switch between the 3 characters, but I'm hoping I can get Lisa to play this with me, just 2-player mode. That would be awesome. Anyway, this was $44.95, which is about the current price on price charting. But every one time I look on there, this is like $60 plus for a loose copy. But I got it for $35.96 after my tax. Got a little ding on the top there with the label right there, but essentially it's in really great shape. Tested it, it works. Couldn't be happier. There was actually a story where these 2 guys came in after I saw it. I told my buddy to grab it for me, but he hadn't grabbed it quite yet. And these guys were looking at the case, and I was feeling a little uncomfortable. I said, "Can you go get that game before those guys maybe decide that they want to get it?" He went over and grabbed it out of there and held it for me, and the guys were like, "Man, I was about to buy that." So came really close to not being able to get this game. So I am so happy to get it. I feel bad for the guys, but they got some other cool games while they were there, and I chatted with them, and they seemed really cool guys. So, and now the power play. Alright, first up, so this came in this little baggie. My buddy Steven gave me all of this stuff. He's given me some other cool stuff too in the past. Like Final Phantasy Star 1 and 2 Plus on the GameCube, Final Fantasy Tactics, some really cool stuff. But these are really cool as well. And this item he has had for a long time. It launched with the Nintendo GameCube, and it is a little stand that I guess was you got from Target for order. I don't know, with something with the GameCube. I'm not sure how he obtained this, but never seen anything like it. So I am happy to add this to the collection. And this guide actually has exchanged hands with us a couple times. He gave me this guide years ago, and then he got Final Fantasy VII, hint hint, nudge nudge, again, and played it, and he wanted this guide back so that he could play it. Yeah. But now it's mine again. He gave it back to me. I was worried that I wouldn't get it back. But that is the completely unauthorized Final Fantasy Ultimate Guide. Which is funny, because this was originally $9.99. I don't think it has the poster in there. I think he probably took that out. But essentially, it's not a cheap strategy guide. There are some really crummy versions of this guide online for $50 or $60 plus. So, and a lot of them are going for, or at least have the prices on them for 70, 80, 90, 100 bucks for this guide. So I am so happy to get this. Why that is so expensive, this guide shows you stuff that the official guide didn't, like crazy materia combos that you could put together and just link these attacks together and kill bosses within just seconds, essentially, just like a couple of turns of fighting them, which is insane. So very happy to get that back. And then one of the coolest items in the whole thing. I mean, Secret of Mana was really awesome. All this stuff is cool, but oh my gosh, I am so happy to get this. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on now. That is the PlayStation Vita, Generation 1. Well, it has a little scratch on the screen right there, as you can see there. But the cool thing about it is what the games he has on it. Not only is this supposed to have the better screen of better than the original ones, but it has all these games downloaded on it. He said it was $50+ of games on it. It has Terraria, Limbo, PlayStation All-Stars, Don't Starve Giant Edition, and then some cool RPGs like Legend of Dragoon, Final Fantasy VI, Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy X, X-2, HD Remix, and Chrono Trigger. That is awesome. That is just phenomenal. And I paid him $100 for this. So, awesome score. Alright. Thank you guys for watching. Later.